Welcome back to CC's Pizza in Marshall, Texas, and the ETBU Extra Show. Hello, Mike Midkiff along with Jason Souls. Each week from noon to 1 on Wednesdays at CC's in Marshall, we talk ETBU Tiger sports. And, of course, if you come and join us for lunch, the buffet, including the drink, is only $5. So come out to CC's Pizza each Wednesday. If you don't make it on Wednesday, just come by any day and use the regular price when you do. But we encourage you to come on Wednesday and enjoy the pizza buffet. Jason Souls is my soccer expert, so I'm going to defer most of the questions for Zane Barnes, the assistant soccer coach at ETBU, as we talk on our last Meg at Tiger Soccer. But first, I want to ask Zane, you're in your second year, correct?
Correct.
Correct. Kind of tell us, how did you get familiar? Well, you're a former ETBU player, aren't you?
Yes.
So I'm going to say, how did you get familiar with ETBU? Well, because just remember you're a former player. Kind of talk about how the process came for you to come as the assistant soccer coach at ETBU.
Yeah, it worked out to where I was a high school geometry teacher and a soccer coach in the Houston area. And I kept up with Paul Grant, the head coach, obviously, the whole time while I was teaching and coaching at Willis, was the high school I was at. And when he was able to get the head coaching job, he knew that I was a former player, and we had kept in contact, and I knew where he wanted to kind of take the program as far as on and off the field. So I think it was very easy for him to get together with me and kind of give that as an option. And I always wanted to get into the college level from high school, so it was a pretty easy transition.
Well, Jason, I'm going to turn the questions over to talk to Zane. You want to talk Lady Tiger Soccer first?
Yeah, let's talk about the ladies, Zane. Last week when we were here, we talked about how difficult the schedule was going to be coming up. Initially with UT Dallas on Friday, and the ladies put together a pretty good performance on Friday. And I don't want to call it an unfair result, but a draw would have been a fair result in that game as well. So talk a little bit about the UT Dallas performance and some of the standout players.
Yeah, UTD is, excuse me, they have a new coach, has a great track record from up north, and they've always been strong. Our ladies did a great job, not so much on the offensive side of the ball, but defensively. We got numbers behind the ball, so that transitioned to the offense pretty well. A lot of opportunities with the post a couple times, so a draw would have been great for us, and that's really we were trying to get. We needed points out of that, and unfortunately we weren't able to. But it just shows that with some of the results we've had in the past, that we can play with the top teams. So our ladies need to expect that they can play with anybody. So it was good overall.
And then the quick turnaround, because the homecoming schedule a little bit early against Ozarks, and I wouldn't say it was a pretty good performance. Dominated the game, a lot of possession, a lot of shots on goal. Fortunately, one did go in, but a lot of them didn't. Talk a little bit about Saturday's performance and how important that 3 points was to the standing.
Yeah, Saturday was huge, and as coaches, we want our women, our ladies, our men to play to the best of their abilities, and sometimes that doesn't happen. But as coaches, we'll take 3 points. And our ladies did great. We just had a little bit of trouble finishing on the back end of things. But it's definitely the right foot forward, and we needed those 3 points. And then going into the next couple weekends, we'll have to do the same.
And it's pretty clear on the rest of the season what needs to be done. We talked about it earlier. 2 wins out of 3, 6 points, and you kind of clinch that last spot for sure in the playoffs or in the postseason. I know you're taking it one game at a time, but talk a little bit about LC coming up on Friday, and what you expect to see from them and what you expect to see from our team.
Yeah, LC, they're not a slouch by any means. They have a girl that plays up top, scored 5 goals already this season in conference. So, they can get goals. What they'll do is they'll sit back, they'll try to knock a ball along to her. So we've got to be ready to deal with the long ball, and we're going to see a little bit more possession. So for us, we're going to have to be calm on the ball. We're going to have to be able to move it around, and we're going to find success if we can keep the ball and just keep things going.
And of course, it's Senior Day coming up Friday, the last soccer match of the year. Kind of talk about the seniors that you'll be recognizing before the match against Louisiana College, which kicks off at 6 p.m. on Friday.
Yeah, we have a good number of seniors, and they all give good quality minutes. And again, I've been here for 2 years, so I've had them as juniors now and then as seniors, so that they've done a great job. Just a lot of number of them: Sarah Colazzo, Kayla Cradit, and I call her Bobby, obviously, but Nicole Salam. So there's a good number of them, and I know I'm forgetting some, but all these girls, even if they're not on the field at that time, they're great in practice. They mentally they prepare for the other women. So we wouldn't be where we are this season without all those seniors.
Visiting with Zane Barnes, assistant soccer coach at East Texas Baptist University, wears 2 hats, kind of like Paul Grant. Paul Grant, of course, is the head soccer coach along with the Lady Tigers and Tigers. So let's transition and talk about men's soccer. First, Saturday, I had an opportunity to bring the championship teams back, the national championship teams from 98 and 99. Had a special reception for them Saturday afternoon during homecoming. Had a chance to recognize them before the men's match. What was it like for you as a coach to see a championship team come back to campus?
It's a little different for me because I was a team here. So, I mean, even when we were here, we were compared to the 98, 99 team. And the alumni games, I was on one side playing against them during the alumni game. Now, when I played in the alumni game, we play together. And some of those guys I've had a chance to get to know, and they're great guys. And you can definitely tell just by the way they carry themselves on how they win. So that's always a positive to me, and a positive for our guys to be able to see. But I'm very glad they got recognized because, again, 2 years in a row, I don't care, NAIA, Division III, NCAA, that's a big thing.
Yeah, to win 2 consecutive national championships is almost unheard of due to 2-peat. Jason Souls here. Got some questions for Coach Barnes about men's Tiger soccer.
Let's talk about the men. 2 difficult results at the week, and another 2 penalties given up. Is there talk a little bit about those games, and what do you say in preparation? I know sometimes penalties is just something that happens in a game, especially when it's a handball or a call by the official. But is that a point of emphasis for Louisiana College on Friday?
Yeah, I mean, that's something we definitely think about. They're good at holding the ball. They're good at getting the ball wide. They like to get in behind. So for us, we've committed penalties in the box, all but for one conference game. That's kind of hard for us because we know they're going to get chances in. So defensively, we just have to be smart. Our hands have to be down. We can't be tugging. We just got to be careful. We need to have the confrontation outside of the penalty box rather than chasing them in and then having it there.
And both teams, the men and women, we talk about things like penalties. We talk about things like finishing, which has been an issue for both the men and the women this year. I don't know if it's an issue. The Achilles heel, it's great when you have a ton of possession. You're getting yourself in position. You're just not putting away those chances. And part of that's down to the young group of players that you're playing. So talk a little bit about the youth on that team and how important it is for them to get into the postseason so they can gain experience for the years to come.
Yeah, I mean, I thought last year was huge for us, for them just getting in. Just to be rewarded with, I mean, we were on them all year and they finally got in. And I think they saw the benefit of it. We have a lot of young guys in, and I think a lot of that was because we were successful to get into the postseason, so they wanted to come and be a part of that. With that being said, we have a lot of great leadership with Christian Garcia and some of the older guys. But yeah, I think it's hard for us as coaches because they do everything right throughout the field. They defend well, they attack well, and we're just not getting that finished product with a goal getting scored. And in the reality, in the game, in our sport, the hardest thing to do is to score a goal. I mean, that's where you can find a guy that can score goals, and we have those guys. But if they're confident, they put one in, it'll get there. And I think we're getting to that point. We're getting back to more of the basics throughout this last week. So I think we're gonna see a little bit more coming
Coach
up.
Barnes, you got your final home match coming up Friday against Louisiana College. You got a chance to recognize some seniors. Talk about the seniors you'll be recognizing in the men's game.
Yeah, and these guys have been through it all. And again, I played for Jose Alonso, great guy, did a lot of great things, and they were in there in that regime as well. And then also when Paul took over, and I came along as well. And they've done very well in helping us get to where we want to get. And no means above where they were before, but just in a different route. And so anytime you're a player and you play for 2 different coaches, no matter the philosophy, something's always going to be different. So Christian Garcia has done well. He's a great leader, very silent leader. You got Mario Garcia that's come back for a 5th semester. He's a great leader off the field, and he does well on the field. And I know there's some more, and I'm going to be forgetting those.
Jose Esparza and Brian Romero.
And I can't forget Jose Esparza. He's a captain, and again, I always think he's a junior, but no, he's a great guy, captain, and he's led the guys for the last 2 years. And then the last one, sorry.
Brian Romero.
Oh.
We had him on the show 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, I can't forget about Brian. And he's done well in these past couple of weeks because he's played up top his whole career here at ETBU, and we've kind of gotten to where He's very quick, got quick pace, can get in behind, works hard. We get him wide, and he's done great things in training. So hopefully we're going to get him out wide this week and we'll get some goals.
Jason, you have a last question for Coach Barnes before we wrap up the show today here on ETBU Extra?
Well, now I'm going to put your math to a test. What do we have to do to clinch on the guys' side? Are we in, 3 games left? Are we in must-win territory at this point?
We got to win, and that's for us as coaches. And I'm not saying if we don't win this Friday we're out, but a big thing for us is we need to win games that we're expected to win. And if we're changing a philosophy of a program, great teams win all the time, and we're trying to get to be great, but good teams need to beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. So LC knocked us out on the men's side last year in the conference tournament in the second overtime, and so we're right there with them, so we just need to get a win on Friday.
All right, Coach Zane Barnes at ETBU Tigers Soccer visiting with us on the last segment here on ETBU Extra. Of course, the ETBU Tigers play their last home match this Friday at Cornish Soccer Field against Louisiana College. The men start at 6 p.m. and the ladies at 4 p.m. And don't forget the Tiger volleyball team at home 2 p.m. on Saturday against Sullivan State, their final home game. Tiger football on the road in Pineville for their second American Southwest Conference game. Airtime on the Sportsnet will be at 3:40 with countdown to Tiger kickoff show and 4 p.m. kickoff. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us today here at CC's Pizza. Another edition of ETBU Extra has concluded. Once again, join us each Wednesday from noon to 1 p.m. on the ETBU Sportsnet for ETBU Extra. And if you can, come to CC's Pizza in Marshall during that time each Wednesday and have the buffet, including the drink, for only $5. On behalf of Jason Souls, I'm Mike Midkiff. Also, thank you to the Sports Information Department at ETBU for all their help today. We'll see you next week on ETBU Extra. So long, and have a great day.